Overcoming the fear of change is not easy for most people. Many of us feel worried when something in life starts to shift. It can be a new job, the end of a relationship, children growing up, moving to another city, losing money, getting older, or even small daily changes. We feel uncomfortable because we want things to stay the same. We want safety, stability, and control. But life does not stay the same. Everything moves, everything changes. This simple truth is at the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Buddhism teaches that change is not a mistake in life. Change is life itself. One of its most important teachings is impermanence, which means that nothing lasts forever. In the Pali language, this is called anicca. It tells us that all things, whether good or bad, happy or painful, are temporary. Our body changes, our thoughts change, our feelings change, the weather changes, and even mountains slowly change over time. When we understand this deeply, our fear of change becomes softer. Many people are afraid of change because they think it will take away their happiness. If they are in a good situation, they fear losing it. If they are in a bad situation, they fear that things will never improve. Both fears come from the same misunderstanding. We forget that life is always moving. When we try to hold tightly to something, we suffer. It is like trying to hold water in your fist. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. The Buddha, known as Gautama Buddha, taught that suffering comes from attachment. Attachment means we cling to things and demand that they stay the way we want. We say, "This is mine. This must not change." But because everything is impermanent, our expectations break and we feel pain. If we accept that change is natural, we suffer less. Think about nature. The seasons change every year. Spring becomes summer, summer becomes autumn, and autumn becomes winter. No season tries to stay forever. If winter refused to leave, spring could never come. In the same way, when something ends in our life, it makes space for something new. Sometimes we cannot see this at first, especially when the change feels painful. But later, we may realize that the change helped us grow. Fear of change often comes from fear of the unknown. We like what is familiar. Even if a situation is not perfect, at least we know it. The unknown feels dark and uncertain. Our mind creates many negative stories about what might happen. But most of these stories are not real. They are only thoughts. Buddhism teaches us to observe our thoughts without believing all of them. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. They are not permanent either. Meditation is one way to understand impermanence directly. When we sit quietly and watch our breath, we notice that each breath begins and ends. No breath stays forever. Sensations in the body appear and disappear. Emotions rise and fall. Even strong feelings like anger or sadness change if we simply observe them without feeding them. This experience shows us that everything moves. When we see this again and again, we become less afraid. Inner peace does not come from stopping change. It comes from changing our relationship with change. Instead of fighting it, we learn to flow with it. Imagine a tree in a storm. If the tree is too stiff, it may break. But if it can bend with the wind, it survives. Flexibility is strength.